If you're considering buying or selling a home in the Minneapolis, St. Paul, or Twin Cities metropolitan area in 2025 and wondering whether now is a good time, then this video is for you. It's February 2025 and this is my first monthly housing market report of the year. My name is J Trout Lowen. I'm a Minneapolis Realtor, and every month I do a deep dive into the housing market in the 7-county Twin Cities metro to see what's up, what's down, and how I can help my homebuyers and home sellers successfully navigate the Twin Cities housing market. So, true to the seasonal pattern, we saw the number of homes listed for sale in January go up. No surprise there. December is typically the slowest month for home sales in Minnesota. But what's more interesting is that the number of new homes listed for sale in January was up 7.7% compared to January last year, and almost 33% compared to January 2023. Now, that's kind of a big jump, folks. But before you get too excited, the biggest increase in new home listings by far was the number of new construction listings, which jumped about 17%. The number of existing home listings coming to the market in January only rose by about 4%. And that's not a very unusual pattern. New construction listings can be homes that are already built, but they can also be those that builders plan to build. So it seems that builders might be feeling a little optimistic. Kind of curious whether that optimism is going to continue now that we have some new tariffs. The National Home Builders Association says that new tariffs on aluminum and steel are expected to increase the building costs for both single-family homes and multifamily homes. That's not such good news, right? Now, when we look at new homes listed for sale in January, the picture gets even more interesting when we look at new homes listed by price. The biggest increase of this year overall came in the higher price brackets. New listings priced between $500,000 and $800,000 grew by almost 24%, and new listings priced above $800,000 grew by about 32%, January to January. The less good news here is that the new listings priced under $300,000 actually plummeted by 34% compared to the same time last year. I mean, take a look at this graph. It's like they fell off a cliff. First-time homebuyers are continuing to struggle with supply and affordability issues. Homes listed in that $300,000 to $500,000 price bracket, that kind of move-up homebuyer bracket, those grew by just 3.4%. So what you can really see is the impact of both affordability and interest rates on that lower half of the market. Now let's take a quick look at total number of homes for sale. So first we looked at just the number of homes that came to market in January, and now we're looking at all of the homes that were available for purchase in January. And those homes might have been listed in July of last year and still on the market, or October or December. So total number of homes for sale. So when it comes to the total number of homes for sale in the 7-county metro in January, both new listings and those that were already on the market, we saw a small 2.2% decrease from the previous January. There were about 126 fewer homes on the market in January than last year. Now that's not a huge difference, but again, if we look by price, we see a real mixed picture. The total number of homes for sale under $300,000 was actually up 4% year over year, while the homes in the $300,000 to $500,000 bracket were down about 8.7% compared to last year. So one explanation for that is that many of the homes listed for sale under $300,000 are actually condos and townhomes, and that market has been sluggish for months, and a lot of those units have been on the market for quite a while. Now, if I just look at the total number of single-family homes for sale under $300,000, I see a drop of 41% compared to last year. So inventory was scarce last year, and it was even scarcer this year if you were looking for a single-family home under $300,000. Meanwhile, the total number of condos and townhomes for sale in that price bracket was up by 35% year over year. Now, in all price brackets, the homes were taking longer to sell in January than they were in January last year. The average number of days from listing a home to sell in January was 64, and last January it was 54, so about 10 days longer. Now let's take a quick look at home prices. Despite taking longer to sell, home prices have continued to rise slowly. The median sale price in the 7-county Twin Cities metro was up 3.5% to 883,000 in January, and that's up from 370,000 last year. Now you got to remember that the median means that half the homes sold were above that price and half the homes sold closed below that price. When we look at average sale price, we also see a slow but steady increase. Average home sale prices rose 3.6% year over year from 440,000 to 460,000. All right, so what do all of these numbers mean overall? The housing market is growing slowly in 2025, but first-time homebuyers are still facing fewer choices, rising prices, and higher home interest rates that are putting home ownership out of reach for many of those buyers. Homes are staying on the market longer, but that hasn't really impacted home prices because they rose pretty much steadily throughout 2024 and continued that in 2025 so far. All right, let's talk about interest rates. Interest rates have been hanging around in the 7% range for quite some time now. Low upper sixes, lower sevens, kind of hanging in there. Last week, in fact, the unemployment numbers actually jumped up, and that is one of the things that might make the Federal Reserve consider lowering interest rates, which would lower home mortgage interest rates, perhaps, for the spring market. We'd really like to see that. That could really help with affordability. But with everything that's going on in Washington right now, it's anybody's guess what is going to happen next. So until next month, I want to say thanks for watching. I hope this was valuable to you. If you have a question, please leave it in the comments below. If you want to talk about your particular market, go ahead, shoot me an email, send me a text, and then I'll see you next month for the my March housing market report.